GETTYSir Martin Donnelly was Dr. Fox's permanent secretary until last year. Sir Martin Donnelly, who was Dr. Fox's permanent secretary until last year, said the government's plan to leave the customs union was like giving up a three-course meal for the promise of a packet of crisps. His comments overshadowed the Trade Secretary's keynote address on Brexit, in which he said Labour's plan to stay in the customs union was a complete sell-out of the British nationals' interests. Dr. Fox slammed Sir Martin as being stuck in the past and defended his desire to strike free trade across the world, saying, "Neither Sir Martin, with all due respect, nor anyone else has seen the full details of what was agreed at Cabinet last week at Chequers. When the Prime Minister sets those out on Friday, I think he will find that what we need is a hard-headed leader, not a fairy godmother." He added that it is not about sticking to the patterns of the past. Dr. Fox continued, "First of all, it is unsurprising that those who have spent a lifetime working within the European Union would see moving away from the European Union as being threatening. The particular choice that I heard Sir Martin Donnelly outline was a choice between the European Union and trade opportunities elsewhere. I don't believe that is the choice we face. We are already trying to seek a full and liberal partnership with the European Union. We are already having discussions about expanding our trade agreements beyond the EU. And we are also talking about rolling over the EU agreements into EU law so that we can get no disruption in terms of market access at the point of access. So it is not a choice of one or the other, and, in any case, I think the UK Brexit process is, as we have all discovered, a little more complex than a packet of Walkers. The row has come at a time when the government had planned carefully choreographed speeches on its Brexit division. Speaking on the BBC Radio 4 Today programme, Sir Martin said, "You're giving up a three-course meal, which is the depth and intensity of our trade relationships across the European Union and partners now, for the promise of a packet of crisps. In the future, if we manage to do trade deals outside the European Union which aren't going to compensate for what we're giving up, we risk losing that level playing field or being shut out entirely, and we have got to look at how this really works in practice." He added that Britain's success as a service economy depended on the EU, which is the world's only functioning market for services. GETTYSir has come at a time when the government had planned carefully choreographed speeches. Said, "The challenge if we choose not to stay in the single market is, can we negotiate equal access in all those areas of services without agreeing to obey the same rules as everybody else? I'm afraid I think that's not a negotiation. That is something for a fairy godmother. It's not going to happen. You just have to look at the arithmetic. It doesn't add up, I'm afraid." Getty Remain campaigners were spotted handing out packets of crisps before Mr. Fox's speech. Remain campaigners were spotted handing out packets of crisps before Mr. Fox's speech, a reference to criticism of Brexit by former top trade official. Sir Martin was a permanent secretary in the Department of Business before being moved over to help Dr. Fox set up the Trade Department. He stepped down last summer after less than a year in the job. The former Mandarin said nothing at the time, but in private he is believed to have reservations about Dr. Fox's free trade agenda.